This dumbass I know actually feeds the crust to his dog, talking about it's a pizza bone. Like, bro, you're killing your dog and it's not even getting any of the good pizza. Like, you're such an asshole. If anybody offered me a crust, I would smack them in the fucking throat, okay? I don't just want to eat your bland ass gross crust, bitch. That's fucking disgusting, and stop feeding it to your dog. This dog Charlie, he's a rat terrier and a chihuahua mixed. He taught me that just because someone is shitty to you doesn't mean you have to be shitty back. He was a good dog. Do you know anybody that talks about God all the time? But then in your head you know that if she actually met God, he would tell her to part from me, you know me not, and pull the lever. So she falls to hell. Do you wonder how Fox News could be doing what they're doing and nobody holds them accountable? Like, we're all seeing the damage that news like Fox News and others do, but nobody's saying anything. We're just like, whatever. I guess if we ignore it, it'll just go away. I mean, it's really bothersome to think that these people are manipulating people to be a certain way, and it's like no one wants to stop it. Like, shouldn't we stop that? I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. I accidentally ran over a raccoon once, and I cried for like 30 minutes. And I know someone who beat a raccoon with a baseball bat and didn't shed a single tear. And that's a problem with me. Like, how are you going to be so callous and fucking, I don't even know the right fucking words for it. But how are you going to beat something lifeless and not shed a tear about it? That bothers me. Like, we should always feel emotions and never be afraid to. You know, we shouldn't become callous as we become adults. We should still feel, because that's what makes us human. It bothers me that some pastors act like they're the middleman, like they're the person that's between you and God, when in reality, Jesus is the middleman. He is the one that leads us to God, not these pastors. Because all some of these pastors do is just prey on people for their money, and it's really sickening. Because I've heard a story where this lady had cancer and she could have got the treatment, but the church convinced her to give them her money and to just pray to God for healing. And that's fucked up on so many levels. Also, I know someone personally that had a broken leg, and she kept praying to God, trying to get him to heal her. But God doesn't work that way. And she just kept giving her money to the church and then feeling like she wasn't doing good enough or something was wrong with her. And that's not right. When I was in Los Angeles, I was walking around and I was really hungry. Like, my stomach was hurting. And I was like, fuck, I'm fucking hungry, God. And next thing I know, these church people come up and they hand me a hot dog with some Cheetos and a Kool-Aid. And I don't really like hot dogs or the crunchy Cheetos, but that shit was the best meal I ever ate. Like, it was really good. The best hot dog, and those chips were so good. Jesus always hears us. He may not respond in the way we'd like him to, but he always knows what's best for us. And everything will work out for the good. I'm really glad Jesus judges us by our hearts instead of what's in our heads, because I have scrambled brains, but I have a big heart. These white nationalist Christians really bother me, because they're ruining the image of God, and they just don't seem to care. They prey on people for their money, and it's never enough. They're always conning more people out of money. And it's just like, at some point, you have to fuck off. Because money, although it can buy you a lot of things, it's not going to make you happy in the long run. You're always going to want more and more. And you have to learn to tell yourself when you have enough. Remember, if anyone puts you down or talks shit about you or does wrong towards you, Do not be their friend and think you can change them for the better because they're only going to bring you down. Don't let people make you feel guilty and shame for stuff that you shouldn't feel. Don't make excuses for people like you know them better than they're saying that they are, because people will tell you exactly who they are, and it's up to us to take their word for it. Remember, drugs will ruin your life. They will turn you into everything you're not. You'll start to get high to avoid the bad times, but then they'll take the good times too, and then you just won't have shit but the drugs. I know it's hard to quit, but if you keep persistently trying to quit, you'll be able to quit. It's like the new you is waiting to get out of the shell of the old you. Eventually, you'll burn that shell because it'll serve you no purpose.